the silent miracle of forgiveness, when a wounded heart heals through grace. There are miracles that dazzle the eyes. The blind see, the lame walk, the dead rise. But there are also miracles that happen quietly, unseen by the crowd, unnoticed by the world. Yet they are no less divine. They happen in the heart, when a soul that has every reason to hate chooses instead to forgive. This is one of those miracles, the silent miracle of forgiveness. In a small Italian village, sometime after the Second World War, there lived a woman named Lucia Rossi. She was known for her warm bread, her laughter, and her deep love for her only son, Marco. Marco was a good young man, kind, hard-working, devoted to his mother. But one evening, tragedy struck. A drunken fight broke out in the town square, and Marco was caught in it. A single, reckless act of violence took his life. The man who did it, a neighbor, Pietro, was arrested, tried, and sentenced. But for Lucia, nothing could undo what had been done. Her world fell silent. Her laughter disappeared. The bakery closed. Lucia would sit by the window every morning, staring at the street where Marco used to walk home. Her heart was filled with bitterness, not just against Pietro, but against God himself. "How could you allow this?" she whispered each night. "If you are love, where is your love now?" Years passed. Pietro served his time in prison. The town forgot, but Lucia's heart remained frozen in grief. One autumn afternoon, the parish priest, Father Angelo, visited Lucia. He brought with him a letter. "It's from Pietro," he said softly. "He's being released. He asked me to give this to you." Lucia hesitated. Her hands trembled as she opened the envelope. The handwriting was rough, the words simple. "Signora Lucia, I took from you what I can never return. I have lived every day with that weight. I know forgiveness is too much to ask, but I needed you to know that I am sorry, truly sorry. I pray every day for your son and for you." "Pietro!" Lucia folded the letter and stared at it for a long time. The pain rose again, sharp and fresh. She wanted to tear it apart, but something held her back. That night, she couldn't sleep. The letter seemed to echo in her heart. "I am sorry." For the first time in years, she whispered a prayer. Not a long, holy-sounding one, just 3 words. "Lord, help me." In the weeks that followed, Lucia began to attend Mass again. At first, she sat in the very back pew, silent and withdrawn. But one Sunday, the Gospel was about the woman caught in adultery. When the crowd wanted to stone her, Jesus said, "Let the one without sin cast the first stone." Those words hit her like lightning. She realized she too had been throwing stones, not with her hands, but with her heart. Every day she replayed Pietro's sin, keeping it alive through her anger. And yet, had not God forgiven her for her own sins? That night, Lucia knelt before the small crucifix in her home, the same one she had once turned away from. "Jesus," she whispered, "I can't forgive him. But if you lend me your heart, maybe I can try." It wasn't instant. It wasn't easy. Forgiveness rarely is. It came in small steps, a prayer here, a tear there, a whispered, "Lord, bless him," even when her voice shook. Months later, Lucia heard that Pietro had returned to the village. He lived quietly, alone, ashamed to be seen. One morning she saw him outside the church, head bowed, waiting for the priest. For a moment she froze, her heart pounded. She could have turned away, but something stronger than her pain, Something deeper urged her forward. She walked up to him slowly. Pietro lifted his eyes, and tears filled them instantly. "Signora Lucia," he whispered, unable to speak more. Lucia looked at him, not the man who had taken her son, but a man broken, crushed by guilt. And with trembling lips, she said, "I forgive you, Pietro, not because I can, but because God can, through me." In that moment, something broke, and something healed, not just in him, but in her. We often think miracles are about power, about breaking the laws of nature. But sometimes, the greatest miracles are about love breaking the laws of the human heart. Because forgiveness is not natural, it's supernatural. Lucia didn't raise the dead that day, but in a way she did. She brought life back to her own soul, which had been buried under years of hatred. Pietro wept, but so did Lucia. They both walked into the church together, sinner and wounded, both made new in grace. From that day on, people said the old woman smiled again. She reopened her bakery, and every morning she placed a small loaf of bread by the church door, a quiet offering for anyone in need. On the basket, she wrote 2 simple words, "In memory of Marco." Forgiveness didn't erase the pain, but it transformed it, from a wound into a well of mercy. Maybe tonight, there's someone you struggle to forgive. Maybe the wound is still raw, or maybe it's been buried so deep you've forgotten how it started. But know this, forgiveness isn't saying what they did was right. It's saying you refuse to let their wrong define your heart. When you forgive, you don't set them free. You set yourself free. And that freedom is the very breath of God's grace. Because in every act of true forgiveness, Christ is there, whispering the same words he spoke from the cross. "Father, forgive them." That's the silent miracle. And it's one he still performs today, in every heart willing to open, even just a little, to love. So tonight, as you close your eyes, ask yourself, whose chains are you still holding? And perhaps, with God's help, you can let them fall, one link at a time.